Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am 3 years post-op Lipo 360 with fat transfer to the breasts. Before we get into this, if you have not watched any of my other videos, there is a channel plastic surgery playlist on my channel where I talk about my 1 year post-op, my 2 year post-op, what the process was like, how the lipo was and everything. So you can go ahead and check that out and that'll kind of catch you up to speed on where we are 3 years later. Additionally, there is a Q&A video with my doctor, so all my doctor's information is there. How many cc's we put in is in that conversation in that Q&A video, so you have a wealth of information on my channel where you can kind of watch the beginning of this process until where we are now, 3 years later, fat transfer to the breast. So I know the big question is, did it last? What's it looking like? Is it going to last? If you get this surgery, what is going to happen 3 years later, 3 years down the road, 4 years later, etc. So I'm 3 years post-op. I am wearing this low-cut top for you that I normally would not be wearing, but I'm wearing it for the sake of this video so you guys can kind of see what we are working with, okay? And if you want to see what I was working with beforehand, again, there is a video where I show you before and after photos and everything like that in my playlist, so that is all on my channel if you're interested in checking that out. So let's get into why I chose to do fat transfer to the breast instead of implants, okay? I am someone who has generalized anxiety disorder. I have a lot of anxiety. I have OCD. So when I heard and researched about breast implant illness, which is basically when you put a foreign object in your body, like a silicone or a saline implant, your body can, it doesn't happen to everybody, but it can attack that foreign object and give you inflammation, autoimmune disorders, increased anxiety. So for me, it just wasn't worth the risk of dealing with any kind of autoimmune issues or additional anxiety that I already have. Okay, honey, we're on meds for that. Okay. So we don't need anything else. So that is why I opted for the fat transfer to the breasts. Okay. I also wanted a natural result. I didn't want to be walking around here like Coco, you know, Ice-T's wife with big ass titties like this. Okay. I wanted it to look natural. I think that like if I got implants, and again, that is not to say that implants can't look natural. I have seen some incredible implant results that look natural. I just wanted to go an even naturaler route, if that makes sense. And we do love Coco and her titties. So the answer is, did it last? Yes, it lasted. Here we are. Okay. Now this top is a little bit more structured. I'm not wearing a bra right now, but it is a little bit structured, a little bit corset-like. So it does help give a push-up type of push-up effect or whatever, but I'm not wearing a bra or anything. So this is kind of what I am working with after 3 years post-op, okay? I typically don't wear anything that is, you know, super low cut or revealing. I don't wear bras. I don't wear like push-up bras anymore. I don't try to accentuate my chest at all, to be honest with you, which I know is kind of strange. You got fat transferred to the breast and you don't want to show off your titties. Yeah, that's kind of exactly what it is. Like for me, it was a lot more about the shape of my breast that bothered me because I had like more of a kind of like pointed, no under boob. Like it was like barely the shape of a breast. I was like not even like an A cup. Like, so it was more for me building out like a shape of a breast than it was like I want to have big titties and like walk around and, you know, show them off kind of vibe. So for me, it works. I don't like to wear bras. I think they're very uncomfortable. So that's why I don't do any kind of like push-up bras or anything like that. If I do wear a bra, it is a very, very thin, light material, no padding, and is just to kind of cover up or whatever, like if I'm at work or something like that. The other thing that I wear are NIPPIES. I love NIPPIES, okay? They're fantastic. Especially the problem for me is that I hate anything tight. Like I don't like anything tight on my waist. I don't like anything tight around like my bra strap area. So for me, NIPPIES I wear a lot. I kind of wear them to the ground and then I just order a new pair. NIPPIES are the ones that are sticky. So it's kind of like sticky and then you can lift and stick. So that's kind of what I do for the most part is just use NIPPIES. Maybe I'll get back into bras. I don't know. For me, I hate them. So until they come out with a comfortable bra, yeah, I'm not really trying to venture there. I do notice though that sometimes, there are certain tops now that I'm like, okay, honey, like you need to put on the NIPPIES, like you need to put on something because now having a larger like breast area and the fact that they're not implants that are like perfectly perky and like sitting there like round, you know what I mean? It does, some tops do call for bras that didn't before. So I do have to kind of battle with the fact of like, okay, honey, like you actually need to wear bras now. Mostly a sticky bra situation. I'll order the ones on Amazon as well, where it's just like kind of sticky and you strap it here, strap across. If I want to do some kind of like, more elevated chest action like that. As far as how much fat I kept, I feel like it has lasted like incredibly long. Like I don't think that I've really lost any of what stayed after like year one. I have lost some weight. I've maybe lost like since this surgery about like 15 pounds or something. And not all at once, like very slowly and gradually. And I still feel like the proportion of my chest is the same in relation to my body. So I don't feel like I really lost anything, to be honest, even with some weight loss. Now, what I will get into that has changed for 3 years is probably with a little bit of the weight loss and also the fact that I'm just getting older, is they have, I feel like, gotten a little bit more saggy. But hey, that's like kind of part of the process of like deciding to go the natural fat transfer route. That's just part of life. I mean, everyone's skin, everyone's elasticity, it gets saggy. So, I mean, if that's something that you really, really don't want, then I would probably suggest getting implants, even though I know eventually like implants can start to sag as well and you might need to like restructure them or refill them. That is one thing to take into consideration because as the years go on, yeah, they're just gonna like keep on sagging. So it is what it is. I gotta accept it at this point, this is my doing. So I know that people say that when you get fat transferred to the breast, it's, there are some surgeons that say like it's really not going to help with the shape. I don't know. I feel like for me it helped with the shape. Like I had no shape. And so I feel like really good about where I've landed and I feel like it fixed and corrected the issue that I was concerned about the most. So yeah, that's it, guys. This is 3 years post-op fat transfer. The feel on my breast is also very natural. I think this procedure is good for someone if you want a natural result, if you're not trying to have, really, really high profile, large breasts, if you don't care about the shape being perfectly round, because at the end of the day, mine are a little bit more teardrop and a lot more natural. Again, also part of the natural process of this is that the fat is going to absorb to what the body wants to do. So sometimes it can be a little bit unpredictable as far as what your body wants. So one of my breasts was naturally smaller than the other as it was already, and we tried to compensate for that by overfilling that breast, but at the end of the day, more fat also absorbed on that breast, so I do still have a little bit of an asymmetry, which doesn't bother me because I mean, that's what natural breasts look like anyway, so I don't mind that there's a little bit of an asymmetry here. But again, it's just what you're willing to kind of put up with as far as like how picky you are going to be with your results at the end of the day. If you want like full symmetry, perky, round, etc., then, you know, maybe this isn't the procedure for you. A lot of people have to undergo 2 surgeries of this to get the size that they're looking for. I started off with like a 0 A cup, and now I'm kind of sitting, I don't know, I say full B, small C, I don't know, because I don't wear bras again. So I feel like I jumped pretty large sizes in order to get like an actual shape of a breast. And I know that's not the case with everybody, so it kind of feels like that's a risk that you have to be open to take, is like you might have to go for a round 2 in a year after everything's healed if you don't get the size you want in the first round. Overall, the cost for this, I think I paid honestly like $3,500. And that is an extremely, extremely low price. Maybe it was like 4,000. I'm not sure. I don't remember anymore. But in some of my other videos, I talk about the price, and like that information will be more accurate because it was closer to when I actually did the surgery. I don't know what pricing is nowadays. I think the surgery's gotten a little bit more popular, and a lot more people want it. So yeah, feel free to ask me questions in the comments and I will respond to them. And then make sure you check out my video, my other videos where I kind of talk you through, you know, the entire process of this. So, yep. That's it, guys. That's my 3-year update. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, all the things. Thank you. Bye.